So I thank all the Japalites on behalf of my leader for coming in and rendering the service nicely. So now we are all come to a nice part, whereas we are all waiting for the discussion of short Bhagavatam class. Before that, we'll start with Kirtan. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Bihari, Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Bihari, Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradari, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yamunatira Vanachari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Gandharvika Giridhari, Gaurahari, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Anantadev, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Anantadev, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Gurudev, Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, पतित पावन गुरुदेव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. So now today we are discussing Canto 2, Chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. So before that we'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaivam Naram Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaivam Devatam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayavdi Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayavdirate Nashtaprayeshu Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati. Nice sticky. Hare Krishna. So today, as I told, today we are discussing Canto 2, Chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. Payur Yamasya Mrutyasya Parimokshasya Narada Himsasya Naride Nityar Mrutyur Nasyasya Gatam Smritaha. Translation. O Narada, the evocating the outlet of the universal form of the Lord is a board of controlling the deity of death, Mitra, and the evocating the whole of restrum of the Lord is the place of envy, misfortune, death, hell, etc. etc. So ninth, we don't have translation. We'll go with the 10th sloka. Parambotar adharmasya tamaschapi paschimaha Nadaho nadinam cha gotranam asti sampitiha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the back of the Lord is a place of all kinds of frustrations and ignorance, as well as the immorality. From the veins of flow and the great rivers and rivulets and the honors the bones and stuck to the great mountains. Purport. In order to define the impersonal conception of Supreme Personality of God as systematic analysis of philological and anatomical constitution of his transcendental body is given here. It is clear from the available of descriptions of the body of the Lord is a universal form, that the form of the Lord is a descent from the form of the ordinary mundane conceptions. In any case, he is never formless. Word ignorance the back of Lord, and therefore the ignorance of less intelligent class of man is also not separated from the bodily conceptions, since his body is complete whole of everything that be cannot assent that he is the impersonal only. On the contrary, the perfect description of the Lord is holds that He is the both impersonal and personal simultaneously. The supreme personality of God is the original features of the Lord, and His impersonal emanations is but the reflection of the transcendental body. Those who are fortunate enough to have a view of the Lord from the front can realize the personal features, whereas those who are frustrated and thus kept on the ignorant side of the Lord, or other words, those who are in the view of the Lord from the back of realize him in his impersonal features. Hare Krishna. So, ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जलाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येनं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती जयपताकस्वामी इति नामिनि नमो आचार्यपदाय कृपपदाय गौरपदामताय नगरग्रामतारिणि नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी इति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So just to we'll just connect with the context of previous verse. How do we understand previous verse to be connected with today's discussion? The previous verse was have been described different parts of the universal form correspond different manifestation of creation, right? For example, we discussed about the mouth, speech, and fire, and the eyes is a form of illuminating, and the earth is a sound, and the Vedas, the arms of the protector and the leaders, the feet shelter as a protection, feet shelter and protection, and genital is the generation or propagation, right? All these things we discussed in the previous verse. So this verse is describing the moves. The ninth verse is the evocating of outlet of wisdom, and the 10th verse is the back of veins and bones, right? First of all, we think that why this description appears, then it also looks like unusual, right? And sometimes it's also difficult to understand. We may get a question, why the Srimad Bhagavatam is describing all these things. If it is describing, because to understand the deeper process of help to understand the entire cosmic manifestation, which is connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nothing exists independently with him. So this verse here, Brahma is describing the universal form, the evocating outlet of the connected with Mitra, who is associated with the regulation and controlling the principle of Yama. So right, the Ristram is described as a place of associate with envy, misfortune, death, and hell, right? And this seems the very negative, right? So we may think, what is this? All these negative things has been spoken here. So we can understand. We should understand in this verse saying that the Supreme Lord Himself is envious or selfish or sinful. No, that rather this verse explains even negative and under negative things and sinful activities as a material exist have been a place within the Supreme Lord Universal arrangement. So the Lord is complete whole. Everything within the material universe is is unlimited. Is a controller. So now it is very important point to understand the philosophical point where we are. The Lord is a complete whole, but He is not contaminated, but by the material world. This is the very important principle to be understood here. So, for example, we can understand with the sunshine, right? The sun may shine upon a garden, beautiful garden, and a dirty place, garbage dump. It doesn't mean the sun has been contaminated by touching the dirty place. No. Similarly, the Supreme Personality is present at the has a place as an unlimited base of everything, but never contaminated by this material activities or qualities. Hmm? It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.10. Maya Darshyena Prakriti. So under supervision of the material nature, this material world is working. To understand we can understand with a nice analogy. Imagine in our own country, we have hospitalized schools, court, prison house, so many things, right? So let's see the prison house. So the government itself, the criminal, is criminal? No, right? The prison exists because the government has created the system deals with the criminal activities, right? It just deals with the criminal's activities, not government itself as a criminal. No, right? Similarly, within universal arrangement of the Supreme Lord are different demonstrations of consequent, different kinds of activities. So, so this way the Lord is not sinful, rather the supreme controller of the system of karma. So here we can understand the lesson of envy. The lesson of this verse specifically mentioned that himsa, which is transcendental as envy. Dear devotees, envy is an externally dangerous thing, spiritually. Why? Because opposite appreciating of goodness of others. When you become envious, we think why he or she is getting recognized, why he is advancing, why does not such a good, why such a good relationship with a mentor or a leader. Hmm? Why does the devotee is getting so much services? Only why that devotee? All these things definitely for sure. Mental suffering will definitely will be occur. Rather, we should, as a being a devotee, we should cultivate the opposite quality. What is opposite quality? Happiness in another person. Para dukkha dukkhi, no. Para sukha sukhi. Devotee's quality is the best. Para sukha sukhi. So another devotee is advancing, that means is getting a mercy from his Guru and Krishna, showering the unlimited mercy. Instead of envy, we can develop appreciation. So whenever a devotee is doing something nice, coming forward to do some services, something to be innovated to please Guru and Krishna and all Vaishnavas, instead of sitting and commenting bad about them, like sitting telling them that just for a namesake you're doing, just for that this you're doing. Uh, Instead of that, just glorify them. Wow, such a wonderful devotee. How merciful Guru and Krishna is, that Guru is flowing their mercy on them. So this should be the right attitude to glorify devotee. And by doing this, what we get, there is a bonus to all of us. So the moment when we glorify with the good qualities which devotees have, so the moment the heart gets transformed, the heart will start transferring. So that will also get learn something good from them. So this was the thing, and then it is also mentioned it about the karma. So what is karma? This was also mentioned as death and hell. We should understand the material world operates with the according to the karma, right? So it is also confirmed in 4 point Bhagavad Gita 4.17 explains the most important understanding here: karma, vikarma, akarma. Our action is a consequence. So we should understand the process of Krishna consciousness mildly to avoid hell. No, so that is not a thing. This is even more higher. So the Krishna conscious process is even more higher to go beyond this. To what is that beyond going this? This is to break the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, the devotee does not simply think that if I do good karma so that I can get the better life in this material life. No, that is not the attitude of devotee. Rather, they thinks, how can I perform a devotional service so that I can return to the my real father, who's Krishna, right? So this is the attitude of the devotee. So this all about this 9 sloka which teaches us And we'll next go on to the 10th sloka, which is given as the three important things described here. The most important teachings of Srila Prabhupada in the purport. Srila Prabhupada explains that the systematic descriptions of the Lord universal form meant in impersonal conceptions that the person formless. So the Lord is not a formless, right? This universal form itself demonstrates that there is a form and personality behind entire creation. Dear devotees, we should understand something very carefully here. What is that? So, what we should understand, it is Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, first sloka itself is confirming us. The Lord's form is not like our material body. So we have, when it comes to our body, we are temporary. It is made up of material elements, and there is a subject to death. Mm? And there is a subject of disease, there is a subject of old age, there is a subject of death. When it comes to Lord, the Krishna's form is eternal, is transcendental, is full of knowledge. So is bliss, Satchitananda. Correct? Therefore, we should never think the Lord as the body just like us. No. So rather we have a body because of as a transcendental form, not God's form is created according to our material body. Now it comes to personal and impersonal features. Srila Prabhupada makes another performed point here. The supreme absolute truth is realized in their features. What are the features we are realized in? Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, right? The Brahman is a impersonal effulgence. The Paramatma is a supreme super soul within the heart. Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead. We can see in Bhagavatam 1.211, right? Veda, Vedantya Tattva Vedasta Tattvam Jnanam Avyaktam Brahmeti Parameti Bhagavam Iti Sabhyate, right? So it is all described about the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So it is wonderfully described. The bird, Bhagavan is a fullest realization. For that, we can understand with the sunshine, right? The sunshine is a radiant of energy. The sun global is a planetary surface. When it comes to sun god, is a personality of presenting the sun. Similarly, Brahma is an impersonal spiritual effulgency. So, what is that? The Paramatma is a localized aspect. The Bhagavan is a supreme personality of Godhead. So, the sunshine is also real. The sun global is also real. Hmm? Then sun God is also real. But the source of the sunshine is sun. So similarly, the impersonal Brahman is a real, but it is an effulgence of the supreme personality of Godhead. It is effulgence of supreme personality of Godhead. So one more very nicely Srila Prabhupada is explained in this particular verse. Those who are fortunate enough to see Lord from front can understand the personal feature. Those who are remain side of ignorance see the Lord's form in the back, previous impersonal form aspect. It does not mean the Lord is literally as a material body, front or back. It is not materially front or back. It is a way of explaining the different level of spiritual relationship. So realization, sorry. So maybe non-devotees think Krishna is a person, or not to use the non-devotee, yet to become a devotee. So they think that they are Krishna is a person. But impersonalists think the absolute truth has no personality. When it comes to devotee, what they think, the absolute truth is unlimited. The person as the impersonal effulgence is one of the features, right? And always devotees like to see the Krishna in the Shama Sundar form, right? So we can understand here to understand this better thing. We can understand about the Sukadeva Goswami. It's like when he was in staying in a mother's womb for 14 years. Somewhere it is mentioned it's 14 years. Somewhere it is mentioned of 16 years. Okay, so the moment he comes out of from his mother's womb, uh, so after Vyasa Bhagavan requested so much, please come out, so you'll not be affected by this material things. So please, he was requested so much, and it finally came out. And the moment he came out, he just ran to the forest, towards the forest, and he just started meditating with impersonality, right? So he's also non-devotee. He's not thinking that Lord has a form or something like that. But Vyasa Bhagavan wants to give a justice for his son, right? So his son, he cannot see his son meditating with the impersonalist, as an impersonalist. And he sent his servants. So just go and glorify about the beauty of Krishna and the quality of Krishna. That is beautifully narrated in Bhagavatam 10.21 and 10th canto, 21st sloka. Sorry, 10th chapter, 10th, 21st sloka. Sorry, 10th canto, 21st chapter, 5th sloka. It is wonderfully narrated with the beauty of how beautiful is our Shama Sundara is. And also the quality, when it comes to quality, it has also mentioned in Bhagavatam, first canto, 7th chapter, 10th sloka. Beautifully it has been narrated. And this servant has started glorifying the beauty and the quality where Sukadev Goswami is meditating. The moment Sukadeva Goswami hears that beautiful narration by the servants, immediately he runs to his father, Vyasa Bhagavan. And later on, Vyasa Bhagavan has started narrating Bhagavatam. The same Bhagavatam is repeated for Parishit Maharaj now from Sukadeva Goswami, right? It is when it comes to Kumaras also, right? Even Kumaras, four Kumaras. So the more only by just taking the fragrance of Tulsi, they become a devotee. So this way, the Lord has all this teaches us there is a Lord. Lord has a form, right? And very important thing to be understood here, that why this Virata Rupa? Hmm? Why Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam is talking or describing about the Virata Rupa? So just because not everyone immediately understand the personal form of Krishna. Maybe beginners, when it comes to Krishna, Krishna consciousness beginners, person may think that the how come the person is a source of entire universe, no? So that the Virata Rupa helps to understand the entire cosmic, entire universe in under the control of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything is connected to the Supreme Lord. Mm. Finally, everything is energized and controlled by Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. This way, the river is like a veins of the universal form, right? The mountain is the are like a bones. So imagine if a non-devotee had to become a devotee, so they just see the river flowing. They may think that it is just a water, right? So when it comes to devotee, of course, it's an arrangement of Lord. Uh, so when it comes to devotees always thinks when he sees the mountains, wow, what a beautiful creation of Krishna, correct? And the moment the devotees see the sky, what they think, this is the Krishna's energy. So when a devotee see another living being, they think the part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Krishna. Oh, this is Krishna consciousness. The devotee learn to see the whole world relationship with Krishna. So just to understand with the beautiful analogy, how it is our Karthikeyan Prabhu always quote that um, our ocean, a drop of ocean water contains the same quality, right, of the ocean. But when it comes to drop is not an entire ocean, right? So similarly, we are the part and a parcel of Krishna. So we are not complete. So we have a consciousness. Krishna has a consciousness. We are an individuality. Krishna has an individuality. So it doesn't mean that we are also independent. No. When it comes to we are tiny. We are chutuku. Hmm? So and Krishna is unlimited. Therefore, our Amsha is a part and parcel of Supreme Lord. Krishna is a complete whole. So all these things we can understand till this sloka, how Supreme Personality is the cause of all causes, right? So these are the few points I can understand this particular sloka. And just to summarize this, what we discussed today, everything is under the control, under the Lord's control. even the death, karma, and the consequence of sinful activities are with the Lord's universal arrangement. So the Lord is not impersonal. So for that we understood that the universal form is the demonstrates that the supreme as a form and personality. And the third point which we understand is that the Lord's form is an transcendental. His form is not like a temporary body, material body like us. And when it comes to fourth point, we also discussed about impersonal features is the feature is not a highest realization. The impersonal Brahman is an effulgence of supreme personality of Godhead. So these are the four summarized things which we learned in this today's verse. So these are the few points which I collected from particular verse. I really I thank all the devotees for patient listening. I also beg for the pardon if I made any mistake. I also request my leaders to add more points and enlighten with the particular verse. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavana Gurudev ki jai, God Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Mataji, with your permission, I would like to speak 2 lines in Kannada, Mataji. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ಅಪೂರ್ವ ನಿತೆ ಪ್ರಿಯ ದೇವಿದಾಸಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು 2.6.9 ಮತ್ತು 10ರ ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ನೋಡಿ, ಭಗವಂತನ ವಿರಾಟ ರೂಪ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಓದಿದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಿಜವಾದ ಭಗವಂತ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸಹ ಅವನಿಂದಾನೇ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಭಗವಂತನ ವಿಸರ್ಜನೆ ದ್ವಾರ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೃತ್ಯು ಲೋಕಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಅಧಿಪತಿ ಮಿತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಸರ್ಜನಾ ದ್ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ ದ್ವೇಷ, ಅಸೂಯೆ ಮತ್ತು ದುರದೃಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವಿಸರ್ಜನಾ ರಂಧ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ದ್ವೇಷ ಮತ್ತೆ ದುರದೃಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಬೆನ್ನಿನ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ಫಾರ್ಚೂನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದುರದೃಷ್ಟ. ಸೊ ಮರಣ ಮತ್ತು ನರಕಗಳ ದಾರಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಲೆಯಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ 10ನೇ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಭಗವಂತನ ಬೆನ್ನು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಜ್ಞಾನಗಳ ನೆಲೆಯಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಭಗವಂತನ ಎಲುಬುಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮೌಂಟೇನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಟ್ಟಗಳು ನೆಲೆಯಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಮಿತ್ರ ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಮರಾಜನ ಒಂದು ಅಧೀನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಂಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವ್ರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಭಗವಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದ್ ಸಣ್ಣ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳುದು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಇದನ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಸೂರ್ಯ ತನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾಶನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆನೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗಿಡ ಮರಗಳಿರ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಸ ಕಡ್ಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೊಳಕಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಬೆಳಕನ್ನ ಚೆಲ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಬೆಳಕು ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರೂ ಗಲೀಜಾಗತ್ತ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಗಲೀಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಭಗವಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರೂ ಗಲೀಜಾದ್ನ? ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿನೇ ಭಗವಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಲಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಡೇಂಜರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದ್ದಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಹೇಗಾಗಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಸೂಯೆನ ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಆ ಒಂದು ಎನ್ವಿನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಪ್ರಿಶಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜ್ಞಾನನ ಹರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ 4.17 ಭಗವಂತ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ರೂಪ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಭಗವಂತ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ ತರ ಅದು ಜನ್ಮ ಮೃತ್ಯು ಜರ ವ್ಯಾಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕುವಂತದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಅವನು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅತೀತವಾದವನು. ಅವನು ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಫೀಚರ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದು ಏನದು ಈಸ್ ಇಟರ್ನಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತನ ಮುಂಭಾಗವನ್ನ ಯಾರು ದರ್ಶನ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಲೀಲೆ ಗುಣ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಬೆಂಭಾಗವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ, ನಿರಾಕಾರ ಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರು ತಿಳಿಯುತ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು 2 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಗೂ ಕಾರಣ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮಾತಾಜಿ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandod Pranam Mataji. Very nice session, Mataji. Today what I understand is like Lord has created everything. He is the complete whole you mentioned, Mataji. However, is not contaminated just like us. And also not everyone is fortunate enough to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We have got this opportunity by Guru's mercy. So as a devotee, we have to know how to surrender and perform service to please Krishna to go back to Godhead. And the ocean example was very nice, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much. Anybody else has any points? Beri yaragaದ್ರು ಏನಾದ್ರು share ಮಾಡೋ points ಇದೆಯಾ? Nicely you mentioned, even the negatives are all mentioned in this verse. How Lord is complete and not contaminated. Many verses you gave example. Fantastic, Mataji. You gave references. So, and of course, you ended by saying which is the highest realization. That's very nice. We'll wait for some other. You have the time, Mataji, to hear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, any other points?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Apurva Mataji, for your nice class. So we keep reading and hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam that what is the personal form of the Lord and impersonal form of the Lord, which is really more auspicious, which is inauspicious, we will come to know. So those who are fortunate enough to have a view of the Lord from the front can realize his personal feature, that is a Shyam Sundarakam. And whereas those who are frustrated and are thus kept in the ignorant side of the Lord, and they worship, impersonal form of the Lord. Actually, how do they worship the impersonal form of the Lord is not understood. So, some religions, they do not accept personal form of the Lord, but still they keep some walls or some objects or something. So that object is Krishna actually. That is an emanation from Krishna. So that's why indirectly worshipping, you come in front of the Lord and you see the Tribhangi form of the Lord, Shyam Sundar. Like now we have been given permission to bathe the Lord, decorate the Lord in the temple. So when I was doing this, for Mahaprabhu it is easy to decorate and bathe him. But whereas this Krishna is in a Tribhangi form. And his garland is bending and his flute, his waist, everything is bending. It's a little difficult to decorate and bath him and doing other activities. Anyway, but after doing this, we feel great transcendence, great pleasure. And by hearing the pastimes of the Lord, it is still more wonderful. So in this way, Prabhupada, keeping this all in view, at the end he concluded that those who are fortunate enough, they can have a front side of the Lord. Those who are, unfortunate, they will have the back side of the darshan of the Lord. Okay, so thank you very much. These are some views I would like to mention. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
So-
Prabhuji. One more thing need to be mentioned here today. Today is my mother's Shraddha, Prabhu. I dedicate this class to her. I also request prayers from all the devotees assembled here. So may that soul get better destination to serve Guru and Yoranga and to go back home, back to Godhead. So I dedicate this class to my mother, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Mataji. If you can just mention the name somewhere in an SMS, we will.
Lakshmi.
LAKSHMI.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. So we will definitely say our prayers in our daily puja for your mother. What a wonderful day you started on your day. You can perform the other rituals, but this is the best ritual of discussing or sharing Bhagavatam early in the morning to a wonderful group of devotees. Thank you, Mataji. So